Okay, so I'm reading John 5, and Jesus heals the lame man. Okay, so I'm going to read it. It says, this is 1 through 7. So it says, afterwards, Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holidays. Inside the city near the sheep gate was the pool of Bethesda, with 5 covered porches. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, or paralyzed, laid on the porches. One of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him and knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked him, "Would you like to get well?" "I can't, sir," the sick man said, "for I have no one to put me into the pool. When the waters bubble up, someone else always gets there ahead of me." I'm just going to stop there. Would you like to be well? Is the question that God is asking. Okay? Would you like to be well? He did not ask you what your situation was. He said, do you want your rent paid? I don't care how much it is. I ask you, did you want for it to be paid? Do you want your body healed? Do you want your mind healed? What do you want? You know what I mean? What do you want from God? And he's not asking, what is the situation? He's asking you, do you want to be healed? This man came up with a million different excuses. Now, everybody else at this sheep gate, did you hear him say when the waters bubbled, somebody else always got in ahead of them? God didn't say, okay, let me finish reading. On 8 it says, Jesus told him, "Stand up, pick up your mat and walk." Instantly the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. He didn't say get into the water like everybody else was doing. He didn't say you had to do what everybody else had to do. He said get up and walk. If you could believe, you can receive. And this is the hardest thing for people to understand, is just believing is receiving. He didn't ask this man to get into the waters like everybody else did. He seen that every time that he needed support and every time that he was trying to get to where he was going, everybody walked over him. Jesus seen that nobody paid him no attention, and he's been there for 38 years. This man has been ill for a long time, and all it took was for somebody to let them, to help him get to the waters, for him to be healed. He was there on that porch, waiting, and all he did was believed, and he got up and he walked. What are you believing God for today? What are you believing God for today? He's not asking you to go through the process like everybody else is. If you believe in him, you will not go through the same route. And it's going to look different. That man didn't look around for all those people that was sitting there that was ignoring him. Because remember, he was in his situation. He was laid on the porch with all the rest of the sick people that were walking around him, and they wasn't listening to Jesus. They was not listening to him. They were concerned about the waters was troubled. They were bubbling. So it was their time for their healing their way, the way that everybody else was getting it. You get what I'm saying? How hard was it to get there? But God called him his way. His way. The unique way. The real way. Jesus is the way. And that man believed him, and he picked up his mat and walked. Somebody need to pick up their mat and walk.